Okay, I have another budget update for you, and it's actually, there's so much good information in here. I don't know why I find this kind of appropriation stuff really interesting and important. And I think mostly because you can learn so much about who a party really is by what they want to spend money on or what they want to cut. And once again, we have gotten just a beautiful example of the differences between the two parties in this latest resolution, which it looks like we may have gotten for at least half of the appropriations bills that need to get passed in the next couple of weeks. I'm just going to remind you that we were coming up on another government shutdown because Republicans keep not being able to pass a budget, and the House had voted to kick the can down the road again to March 8th and March 22nd, respectively, with 6 of the 12 appropriations bills being due at each of those moments. So 6 on the 8th and 6 on the 22nd. So the good news is that they have worked out an agreement on the first 6 bills. They announced the contents of the bill on Sunday, and what I learned on my calls this morning is that Democrats did really, really well. And what we are celebrating, and what people who subscribe to my newsletter have been making calls on for months and months, and so many activists have been working so hard on this, is that we have not only preserved WIC funding, but Democrats got a $1 billion increase. And this is a really big deal because WIC is a huge nutritional program, as many of you know, for babies and children and pregnant moms. And it's critical. It's getting them fed, it's getting them fruits and vegetables, and Republicans wanted to take basically a hatchet to that program, and they failed. They also wanted to cut Title I education. It would have cost 220,000 teachers their jobs. They failed. Democrats also managed to get more funding for housing. So those are our wins. We also stopped all poison pill riders. There's nothing that stops abortion care, and no anti-LGBTQ legislation that I've been able to hear. Does that mean it was all rosy? No, because Republicans had to get some wins too, and they did. And here's where I really want you to pay attention. So our wins were getting food for hungry people, protecting teachers, and getting some more funding for housing, right? Vital need right now. What Republicans wanted was cuts to the Internal Revenue Service, and specifically to its modernization program. So that's the program that is upgrading the technology, which still right now is all from the 1960s. It's what is making them be able to reduce their wait times, get people back their tax returns, and audit so many rich people. The IRS has brought in $500 million since they got that extra funding in taxes from rich people who were avoiding paying taxes. The Republicans want that to stop. So defunding them is a big priority. So they worked on doing that in this package. There are other big wins that they got in the package. The wins, and these are wins they're going to brag about, okay? I don't know who thinks that this is worth celebrating, but they managed to get a 10% cut to the Environmental Protection Agency, specifically to the Superfund cleanup fund. So this is for the most polluted places in the country. They're cutting those funds, okay? So that's one of their brags. Their other brag is they got a 7% cut to the FBI. All right, so the tough on crime party is cutting funding for the FBI and proud of it, right? And then their other big win, which really, to me, this is almost the worst, is that they have gotten a $65 million cut to the Department of Justice's Antitrust Division. So this is the division that has been quietly, while we're all paying attention to Joe Biden's age or whatever else is going on, under Joe Biden's amazing appointee, Lena Khan, they have been going after merger after merger after merger. They have been fighting to stop, the Kroger's and Albertsons merger and a bunch of other mergers. Because you know why? When giant corporations merge and become even more giant, our prices go up. And so they have been working to stop that. But guess what? The Republicans just cut $65 million from their budget, and it is going to force them to pull back on their antitrust lawsuits. So Republicans' priority in this budget was making sure our prices stay high, making sure rich people don't get audited and have to pay the taxes they owe, making sure our air and water are dirtier, and making sure that crimes are not prosecuted as readily. Those are their priorities. A budget is a moral document. You can find out everything you need to know about a party by what they fight for in their budgets. And this budget just shows us once again, the Republicans are fighting for someone all right, but it is definitely not you or me. Tell a friend and remember it when you vote.